Okay, current update on this project. I've done some, I got a bunch of parts in recently, and so hopefully I will get this under, well, I've gotten it underway yesterday. This is basically kept the same, but I did change this. I'm gonna need to, um, I thought about putting some other piece to support it, but really it's a little too tall, and obviously there's a gap here, so I'm just going to trim off part of it so that it sits more low and without that gap there. So whatever that is to get it down there. So there's that. I've been rebuilding this part. Took out this. Did quite a number of things. Changed the towers, like the turrets. Same is reflected on the other side, obviously. Shrank this down. It used to go out pretty long. Oh, this is closer to, I think, what it originally came with, but yeah, I just redid this piece here, changed out some of the clips, at least one of them. They used a long, like this other one here, basically, and redid this whole section, took out a huge chunk that was, I think, coming out too far. On the top, this really needed to be closer to be in line with this area. It's a little bit over, but it's closer than it was. It used to actually come up almost this far, I think. A bit too far out. So yeah, this should be more in line with that. I've moved this part of it. It used to be, I think, right in front, somewhere right around here, if I'm not mistaken. More or less right around there, and then shifted it back because I needed to be closer to this. This almost needs to touch it if possible, but there are some proportional things. This is about right size, I think, just based on the reference images I've been keep looking at, and it should start right around this area. So that's about right. I don't think I can extend this unless I can add like a little piece, which would mean some other extra piece I'd have to go on top or on the bottom to extend it, like by a point. I don't know yet what I'm going to do about that. I mean, maybe I could put like something like one of these that, the ones that are like angled, that has a slight cut to it too, so that it'll look more pointed. I guess I could conceivably put it there, but then, this wing does angle up, so oops, never mind. So they're actually, when I do that, this area that is going to be decreased on this side, what it's butting up against. So the more I put on here, the less I can angle it, and it may not go as far if I really put something in there. That's the issue, and I really do need it to angle up like it is. I can't really tell from this angle, but from here you can see what I mean. That's how it's supposed to be like. I have to actually extend it, redid the bottom as well. Oh, let's get to that. So I thinned this section out, so it's narrower. It's almost not quite straight down. It does bulge out a little bit, but it's not as wide as it was because these pieces were pushing it out, which is quite a bit wider. So that needed to be narrow so I can bring the wings inboard towards the center more. They shouldn't be sticking out that far. This gray line, so I retiled all this, obviously, because I'm not using a lot of these bricks, I believe, that were in here. What else? This gray line should actually move over one at least. I was trying to redo these to make it look like the ones on there, and I got some of those. Those would look really good, but unfortunately I can't put them next to each other like this. They're just too wide on the bottom, so they really need to be spaced out, basically like the way this is done here, which this doesn't have room for. So I don't think I can use it. But what I do need to do, though, I don't know why I didn't skip my mind, but I need to replace these gray parts with white ones. There shouldn't be gray, it should be just like white, so that's one thing. Again, that later. So when I shifted that, I moved some of these plates, I guess, these curved pieces up. I just kind of swapped it out. again, whatever I need to do, I added some more tiles down here, this angle, just to help complete that. So I think that works a lot better. What else did I do? Oh, I felt that the engine on the bottom wasn't quite low enough, so I added about another brick layer to move it down, and then also I needed to redo this area to have this angled part come up, sweep up. It was shorter. It didn't go angle out as far. It should actually be closer to this, which should be almost in line from the reference image I've seen. This part ends right about where this part is, so that's about right. This part was also a little bit too inboard. It was at least one, maybe two studs in. I think it was only one, but two, something like that. And I pushed it out. This bottom part needed to be extended a little more forward. So that's what I did too. And whatever I needed to do to fix the bottom to try to inside here to accommodate this piece that I added or replaced whatever was there. I don't know. I think it was, yeah, see, much smaller. This was basically on the bottom here, and it was higher because the engine was higher. It does need to sit lower. Like, it needs to be offset away from this trio of, there will be another one here, just a bit further down. I didn't want to go any further because I believe the top of this basically should be in line with roughly around this area. So if I push it out even more, I think it will be just a bit too low. And then also this will be a bit of a mess to try to redo to recapture that angle. So I'll add what I've been thinking about, what I don't have the parts for yet, but or at least most of it. I'll have to look into it, but definitely I think I need to do something here. There needs to be this extra detail that's on the sides, and that goes for both sides. It's this too plain, and there should be something round here, and then like another straight kind of greebling piece somewhere in here. So I need to do something with that. I'll figure that one out. As well as, I was thinking this might need to be, ideally this should be shortened like maybe one stud back, but I don't know. It actually kind of works, but I do feel like maybe it was just a little bit shorter, just like by one stud. That might be technically closer, but I'm not too worried. I'm more actually concerned with this cannon actually, and this thing. There's actually not this detail here. This orange doesn't extend over the sides from what I've seen, so I need to remove that, as well as the thing that this side cannon on both sides sits within. There should be a larger area that's like a ring. It's almost as big as this guy, so I'm gonna maybe remove some of these pieces and probably this, whatever else to fit. If I can find it. Well, basically a similar piece like that, which I got in here, right here, to increase that, and then that probably offset by about one stud over, and then I'll figure out what else around there. But that's what I think I need to do with this turret. And those hopefully will be the last two down here, the side thing, and as well as here. That I don't think I have necessarily all the parts for yet, but I'm still working out. For the next part, I'm actually gonna try to, since I got the parts that I think I need to finish this up, we're gonna modify this, shorten that down, then that should be about right for this. I think it's kind of like an antenna of some sort. There should be a turret up here, which I do have another one of these that will go here, but the main thing is there's this piece that fits in here, which hopefully this plus some other pieces will allow me to work into here and build up this area, and that's it, I think. Oh yeah, again, as I need to rearrange these tiles here, so that this is here, and then move this over here. It's simple, yet there is a bit of juggling of pieces. That it's not as simple as just moving this over. This is a double. So I gotta move this out, probably stick it here, move this down, and then move this white one out here. Anyways, I gotta cut some more of these pieces, which I do have. And I'll probably have to fix this cannon. It looks like it's a little bit off. I think I hit it on the bottom. But I can worry about that later. Once anyways, I can worry about that later. Yeah, and did I mention I got some extra transparent pieces and just redid this part a bit. And I had to anyways because this whole section from the engine up got raised by one brick. So that was different than what it was earlier, just by a little bit. Just like this part sits the same. It's just everything above it just went up a little bit. So anyways, and I got this more solid piece. They don't make anything like solid like in this length. It's either I'd have to build up with bricks or I just use one of these windows, which I think is fine. I'm just trying to keep it transparent, which is why I switched these to transparent pieces instead of the black that used to be underneath here, which was how the stand was originally designed, just a hole down there. But since I got this, it just looked weird that the black met up to the ship to hold it here, yet the fender up here was holding it up. It's transparent. And it's like, I don't know. Why don't we keep it more separate visually from the base? So make these transparent, basically make this into a transparent part, which is basically is. It's not exactly the same pieces, but I managed to find enough transparent bricks and plates and whatnot to build this up, and now it looks like that. So it looks like it's more floating. I mean, forget all the trash or the busy parts around, but it'll look cleaner later. So that's it. I think I'm gonna hopefully see what time is it. About 8 o'clock, 8 almost going on 9. Probably we'll see how far I can get. The main thing is fixing that. Probably building this up. If I can rearrange these guys, and if possible, get these cannons cut to all of them. The barrels, right? So what I did with this, and then I should do it until I can wrap my brain around fixing the side details here, as well as the cannon. I think it just needs to be just some more slight adjustment. Okay. All right. Here's where I'm at now. So. I rearranged a couple of tiles, added some dark areas, which is what appears on the ship. But there's a small opening. I couldn't really show an opening, but at least something dark to show like kind of a recessed area in a way. There's some contrast, and there's like another one right around here. What else? I got that cut down so you can see it doesn't stick out as much. Like there's not that gap so much right below this blade or whatever you call it. But so that's looking good. I took off, there was a grill piece I put on top. It felt a little bit much. This part needs to be lower, but I just left the exposed just to add some detail. This was a bit of a I had to rework the design a little bit, from what I originally had planned. It wasn't going to fit in there, and it wasn't exactly in the right position as well. But basically, this should look pretty close to this area on the ship, where there's a cannon on top, and this unit here that's kind of right before the front of this top engine. And in doing so, I had to add some filler pieces here because whatever was here before was set back by one stud, so I had to move that forward. And so this actually has to overhang this part here, and then as I move this forward, as far as I can go, make sure there's clearance because it's pretty tight in there. And when I did that, there's a gap here, and then I just duplicated this piece this section here, add that. So that looks about right here. Again, I just did whatever to fill in that space. And that's that. Back on the thruster tip, nozzle tips. Nothing else. That was the main thing I think I was focused on, besides rearranging this area. Basically, I just have to take this off, and then this is actually one section that can come off. And I just removed this wing here, and then just retiled it so that I shifted this over and so forth. So there's about the right position. What else is there? I think that's basically it. I need to add the barrels here. It looks something like this, but unlike this one, actually I just realized that this top barrel is the Canon is actually using something else. You can see there's this extra I don't know what you call it, this ring here. It's not just a straight bar. Where is it? Where did I put the bars? Somewhere around here, I think. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll pick that up later. Hopefully remember. So these bars here, that's what I think. Actually, I do think this was part of that, and then I cut off part of it, half of it, and then yeah, I just basically had one piece like this, and then I chopped it down, and I think it was double the length, but that's fine. I don't feel like looking for this exact same piece again. I'm just going to use that and cut them down to approximately these lengths here, like one longer and one shorter. And I believe the longer one, I gotta look at the photo, either it goes on the outer or the inner, but yeah, so I gotta do it for these four. This one here, actually, the two barrels are actually supposed to be the same length, from what I can tell, so I gotta do that, but that shouldn't be too hard. Just cut those down. I have an idea maybe what to do about this area down here. I gotta move this, gotta rearrange some of this, get this, what's behind here is a piece like this, so that's how I could stick this on here, but I'm gonna probably remove that, but then at least move this up so that it's lines up with something in the middle. I need something kind of like this, maybe, that goes right back here, but it's just gonna, I do have to find these in white, so this will probably, hold on. And just grab the thing that fell. I forget. So it's probably gonna be something like this, where I just gotta move that up. So this is sort of centered somewhere back here. Then there's that round piece or something that goes around here. Then there needs to be just some detail that extends forward from there. Could be a bar, or not like these bars. Like I meant like something, maybe like some grills to come across, or maybe just add an extra panel, but maybe in a different color. I don't know. That's anyways. I have no idea what to do that. This actually needs to move back one. I think the Canon's a little too far forward. I don't know if I need to add an extra surround around it. It seems like it might be a little bit large if I did that. Hang on. Okay, so I was thinking placing one of these back somewhere right here, and then moving this into the center, on top of this in the center. That might look a little bit large for the surrounding area. And actually, this orange, I gotta replace with white or remove it or something. Probably white. I think I have some. But yeah, maybe, I don't think I need the surround around there. That feels like it's gonna be a little bit much on the side. Let me just take a look at the reference photo again to see if that's gonna work. Trying to imagine it like somewhere like here. And then with the cannon off of it. Just wish there was something in between, but there isn't. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna work on next is these cannons. Of course, adding the barrels. And right here, and on the other side, obviously. And that should be it. I don't think there's much else that I can modify more to make it that much better. I don't know if I need to fill in this gap with this little piece, but again, that's going to be probably. Oh, there is one other thing. There should be like this fin or some extra this detail that goes across here, and it kind of tapers in a little bit. That's a little bit tricky for me to figure out right now, but something in the back of my head, and it has to basically extend from the bridge all the way to the back here at an angle. I'll think about it. So 1, 2, and 3, those areas left. Then I should be able to call it quits. That way, it's done. Okay, but that's it so far. I think it's coming along pretty nicely. Thanks for watching. Okay, I just had to, I was just sitting around eating ice cream, just trying to think about, I'm going to do something, and I just had to tinker with this more, so this is what I end up with. And I think this looks pretty good, like this. Just added a little bit more. Just looking at the reference material, there is a bit more around the turret, I guess, on the sides, and it does match up with like this area. And I was able to leave a little bit, I guess a little bit of white is added here. It's not orange all the way through, although it does continue on the other side somewhat. And so this is actually kind of correct. And I changed this from a grow piece to what are these ingots. Just thought that would look actually a little bit more correct. And yeah, not bad. And so this part got thinned out slightly. Removed basically a tile from here. This is okay though. I don't need it to come out. Yeah, I don't think. Thinking of putting one of these on, but I don't think that's gonna work. Let's see. Yeah, that just looks kind of weird. And I don't think it's supposed to cover up this round part anyways. Anyways, yeah, so I think this looks a lot better. Let's check it out in the front. Actually removed, this was actually on another layer of like one of these things, and made the gun pop out the side a little too much. I mean, basically this ring takes the place of that, so I don't need it to stack it, or have that extra thickness or distance, spacer or whatever from there. So this looks a lot better, and overall I think that works. It's like a little bit, adjust the angle, but it's not set. So I just see what else we need to do. That still needs some work. I gotta figure that one out. And I think I'm gonna redo this part. And it should have like this piece that's just angles from here and angles in towards there. And I think I know what to use. I don't have that piece, so I have to order it. Yeah. And replace these with white ones. And that should be it. But anyways, I just wanted to throw this last add-on, like mod or update to the design. And yep, it's coming along.